everyone, and welcome back to the Cinderella phenomenon. So, Walt is investigating Bria with Lucette because Rumpelstiltskin's girlfriend, fiance person that Lucette doesn't trust, came out of nowhere. And we want to find out more about her, if she could possibly plant false memories into someone's head using the journals. Or something like that. We don't know what's up. Anyways. But Bria, I was under the impression that her fiance wasn't seeing her anymore. Bria, oh poor Bria. I heard that the poor dear made a mistake and that her fiance threw her out for it. Is she engaged to someone new now? I'm not surprised given the affair that she had on her first fiance. What? Excuse me, what did you just say? Oh, you aren't aware? I'm terribly sorry. Perhaps I shouldn't have said anything. You said she cheated on her first fiancé? She was engaged to some man, a doctor, I believe. He was a good man, always smiled, helped everyone, including the poor. I don't see how she would have the gall to do it, but the rumors state that she was seeing another man. I think I saw them out together sometimes. He was a rich businessman. Who was he? I believe he was one of the doctor's patients. Did anyone see this for sure, ma'am? Oh, lots of people did, and that's why the poor man stopped seeing her, bless his heart. He looked heartbroken. But then the two of them were engaged, so she should have been more committed to him. When Bria first approached Rumple, she had no idea he had amnesia. She started apologizing to him. Was it for that affair, or am I just speculating? We thank the woman for her help before continuing to ask around town for more information. The more we hear, the more certain we become. She cheated on him. Princess, I know what you're thinking, but it would be incredibly rash to tell Rumple about this. But she is lying to him. I can still remember the sadness in his eyes. Maybe somewhere deep down he still knows. Does his journal entry not say anything? You can try talking to him, Princess, but without any evidence, we're just going off of rumors. If you were wrong, I think that would hurt the situation a lot more. I am forced to acknowledge Walt's reasoning. As much as I want to tell Rumple right now, I do not even know where he is. We finish our errands for the day and then return to the Marchen, where I complete my chores around the tavern before retiring to bed. Later that night, after turning for hours in bed without any success of sleep, I make my way downstairs for a glass of milk. I stop abruptly at the sound of hushed voices. Parfait and Rumple are sitting together at the table, their voices soft. It means a lot to me that you're still taking care of me, even with everything that you have on your plate. When things are as uncertain as they are right now, the little things that remain the same are actually comforting. Oh, what? No compliments tonight? He clears his throat. Lady Parfait, I always find comfort in your presence. Your heart's not in it, is it? Please don't stress yourself out trying to take care of me. I've seen the orders of medicines and the dosages. I can take care of myself, Rumple. I owe you and Lady Delora for letting me stay here. Even now you could have kicked me out, yet I am still here. This isn't the confident Rumple that I'm used to seeing. It's rather heartbreaking to see you like this, you know. Parfait's eyes drift past Rumple, and she sees me before I can dart away. I think you're worrying your partner, too. Rumple turns in his seat and stares at me. Oh, Princess? I slowly make my way toward them. I'm sorry, Princess. I haven't been trying to help you at all. It's fine. Parfait's right, though. It's not like you to be so pitiful. Oh, your words are still as sharp as ever. I glance at Parfait curiously. The light off the tavern lights her face up dimly, making it look more ghostly than usual. She looks sicklier. Do you think I look like a ghost, Princess? Yes. By the time night comes around, I am utterly exhausted. You said you were like this because of the Tenenbaum Lucis you have to take care of?
That is correct. I used to be able to watch it over more easily, but now with the balance between both crystals lost in the kingdom, it's getting harder. This responsibility is a big burden. It is a heavy toll on my body. But that doesn't diminish any of my pride. I am proud to bear this responsibility. Someone needs to do it, and I am very glad I can help so many people through bearing this burden.
What would happen if you just let the responsibility go?
There would be even more chaos than there is now.
And what of the Tenenbaum bearer? Would they not help you with your stress?
There is no Tenenbaum bearer currently.
What? Parfait stares at me for a few moments, a complicated expression on her face. Then suddenly she sighs.
Please do not worry about me, Princess. I've lived a good life. I just want to do more good while I still live. I am very lucky to be surrounded by so many good people. Anyway, the two of you should be off to bed soon. I can tell you're both tired.
Parfait pauses to look at me, eyebrows slightly arched.
Oh, but before you go, there was something I meant to ask you.
Ask me? Parfait crosses her arms and looks at me tersely for a few moments. The look is so unlike her that it almost concerns me. She looks uncertain of something, though I cannot imagine what it is. What could she want to discuss with me?
I wanted to ask if you were free the day after tomorrow?
I am free whenever my schedule says I am.
Then if you could spare 20 or so minutes, I want to speak with you about something. Very important.
Important?
I suppose you could say it is related to your curse.
Fine. Parfait smiles at us before walking back to her room, leaving me alone with Rumple. Rumple smiles at me uncertainly. For a few moments I think he might actually talk to me, but then he rushes off after giving me an apology. I watch him walk up the stairs, my heart sinking. I need to know what is going on with him. Well, you guys gotta talk. Today is my day off. I keep on the lookout for Rumple. Eventually, I see him making his way down the staircase. He does not look quite as disheartened as last night, but the expression is still rather somber. He says good morning to everyone as he usually does, and then walks out through the front door. And that is my cue. Following behind Rumple without being seen proves to be remarkably easy. Even if he is perceptive, he won't be expecting me to follow him when I normally work during these hours. He makes his way through the town until he comes to a stop at a little cafe in the main plaza. It is cleverly hidden, just slightly out of view, not at all in plain view like the rest of the shops. Bria is sitting, waiting for him at a table with a journal. The way she smiles at him numbs my heart. I make my way over to the nearby fountain and crouch beside it to keep out of their view. I can hear their conversation, just barely, from where I sit. You know, I'd been searching for you a long time when I saw you. You suddenly disappeared from the house one night and I couldn't find you. Why did I leave the house? I don't know. Was it a fight? No, not a fight. We barely ever fought. We made a promise when you gave me this ring. We promised we would never make each other sad. I close my eyes and breathe. Bria's words drive a bitterness through my heart after everything I heard. It is possible those rumors were baseless, but isn't it also possible that they were the truth? And Rumple mentioned a fight. Now is my chance to tell him. Ah! I'm gonna interrupt, and if it goes badly, we'll go the other way. I step out from behind the fountain and slowly make my way over to the table. Bria looks up and around. After a few moments, her eyes fall on me. She immediately scowls. What are you doing here? I came to see if you were lying to Rumple. What? Is there something wrong, Miss Partner? Not with me, but perhaps with you. Excuse me. You seem to have quite the reputation. Princess. I have no idea what you're talking about, but taking people's words at face value is foolish. Mother would have said the same thing, but why would they lie? So, it is not true that you were seeing another man? Offensive! How dare you! Bria stands up and glares at me. I frown back at her. Her anger does not faze me. She seems like a petulant child. I can't stand jealous girls. They are the bane of my existence. And you're what, 18? 17. But what does that even matter? Either way, there'd just be about a 6-year age gap between you two. 24? I'm 24. Gods, am I really so ancient? I'm 24. Jackass? The two of us look at him in unison, then back at each other. I am here because I want to help my partner, and because you are lying to him. And who are you to say that I'm lying? You're a terrible little spy is what you are, hiding places to watch us, going around town asking about me. I'm telling you now that Rumple doesn't need you, especially if you're the one spewing lies. Those words have no weight coming from a hypocrite. Wait, ladies. Rumple looks between the two of us, eyebrows furrowed. Then he shakes his head. Bria, I knew. It was in my journal. What? Rumple faces Bria, his expression crumpled. It was that lord, wasn't it? The one I refused to take money from that one time I helped him? He told me himself. I think that's why this feeling inside of me is so mute right now. Why I was always having second thoughts about your stories. Bria, why didn't you ever tell me you were seeing him? I asked you that question back then too, but you never told me. And so I was waiting for you to bring it up again. I was waiting for you to explain. I was waiting for... As if I could ever get anything through that thick skull of yours. Oh, my heart. It's shattering. Even I cannot stop myself from staring at her when she insults Rumple. But with this, she has admitted that the rumors are true. Even if I explained myself, all you would ever say was that you were sorry, but nothing ever changed. What did I do that was so wrong? Look at you. Even now you can't bring yourself to be angry at me. You knew the truth, and instead of demanding to know why I did what I did, you kept asking what you did wrong. But you'll never realize what you did wrong, Rumple. Never. Some things never change. Bria scowls as she makes her way around the table. Rumple tries to call her back, but Bria only frowns as she walks off. Rumple lets out a long sigh. And there go all of my journals, too. Right. He said that Bria had all of his old journals. I am sorry. Huh? I only made things worse. I am still not entirely sure what they were talking about, but... Princess, you don't have to apologize for anything, though. I would like you to apologize for shedding some light on my age. What? Am I really, truly that old? Suddenly he looks disgruntled, but the look of distraught on his... The distraught look. You do not have a look of distraught. You have a distraught look. That's how the grammar works. On his face is almost comical. I cannot help it when I smile and then start to laugh. Do my ears deceive me? Is that wonderful sound coming from your mouth, Princess? How precious. It's just, you are an old man. No, 24 is not old. Guys, help me out here. If I am an old man, then I am young at heart. Besides, I would be a lot more offended if you weren't smiling when you said that. After a few moments, Rumple sighs and shakes his head. I'm sorry you had to see all that. I knew there was more to the story than Bria was letting on because I read the memory in my journal. You knew about the nobleman? Why did you not say anything? Like I said, I was waiting for her to say something. I wanted her to open up about it honestly. Bria is undoubtedly bold, but I doubt she is at all honest. The journal entry. I never read it to you. You've been distant the last week. I have been, and I am sorry for that. But allow me to enlighten you. Rumple gestures to the chair that Bria had been sitting in, and I take a seat opposite him. First, the nobleman was one of my patients. He had a grievous sickness, one that no one else had been able to cure. I cannot help but remember the little boy with the impossible sickness. It seemed he was drawn to Rumple too. Rumple was not able to help that boy on his own either. Some woman offered her assistance. Did you manage to cure him with the help of that same woman? It's another cryptic entry, but yes, the mysterious woman from the first entry reappears. We strike another deal, but I cannot remember the deal at all. All I know is that afterwards I did something to make Bria hate me, and she began seeing the nobleman. Or maybe it was before that. Maybe she was just unhappy. She won't explain why. She still cheated on you. That's her fault, not yours. Rumple nods absently, but I can tell he is not convinced. In any case, even though I can't remember the entirety of what happened, every time I thought of Bria, I thought of our love in the past tense. Rumple frowns, but it is fleeting. Suddenly, he is smiling again. Let's head back for now, Princess. I'll figure out how to reach Bria later. I follow Rumple back to the Marchen. Though he seems fine for a time, Rumple's somberness returns as we head back. He looks like he is trapped in his thoughts. He needs the rest of his journals, but how is he going to get a hold of them now? Yep, I'm not unsatisfied with my answer, so I'm keeping it, even though I didn't get a ding-a-ling-a-ling, so.
Oh, Princess, you're here. Sorry we are late.
My, the princess is gracing us with her presence. How delightful. Parfait said a few days ago that she had something to discuss with me, so here I am. Then let's get right to it, shall we? She plops down on one of her chairs and Parfait sits down gracefully beside her.
Princess, the other day you asked me about my responsibility, and briefly about the Tenenbaum bearer.
I did, but what does this have to do with me? It has everything to do with you, because when it comes to that second inquiry, the answer is right here. Delora points at me. I stare, not comprehending.
Princess, the bearer to the crystal Tenenbaum is you.
What? I'm not able to even feel shock, just confusion. But how do I have anything to do with these crystals? See, I told you she'd be confused.
It's because we started backwards. I'm so sorry, Princess.
I do not understand.
You remember the story about the crystals, Princess? For a time, the crystals were in complete balance. Even the witches who drew on negative energy were respected.
Then one day, Hans wrote the fairy tales. Witches were suddenly painted as villains. Humans attacked the witches, trying to drive them out.
Their leader, who just so happened to be my best friend, was hard-pressed to try to keep the peace. She was the original bearer of the crystal. But as witches were killed and thrown out, she found her patience wearing thin. She killed a human, the ultimate.
She killed a human, the ultimate taboo, and there was nothing we could do but try to stop her.
This bearer, the leader of the witches and bearer of the crystallum tenebral, is someone you know, or someone you knew.
She erased all your memories, made you think that the fairy tales were evil, that humans were terrible. I feel something dark stirring inside of me. A sharp pain cuts through my heart, making it hard to breathe.
The previous bearer of the crystal was your mother, Princess. Hildur, the leader of the witches.
That is impossible. Mother was not a witch. But she was, the strongest of us all. When she died, she kept some of her powers sealed within the crystal, which is why it still allows the Fairytale Curse to be spread. What kind of lie is this? I cannot use magic, and Mother never told me that she was a witch. She would have told me. It sounds like it, doesn't it? But I assure you, Princess, we wouldn't ever lie to you about something like this. As impossible as it seems, you are a witch.
Your power won't manifest until you're 18, and at that time you will inherit control of the crystal.
Since your birthday is soon, this was the last chance we had to teach you goodness. Your mother's been shielding you from it for so long. We trusted you were different from her, and you are. But Mother was the only one that ever loved me. She stole away your memories and made you hate the world.
Delora.
She was fostering hatred in you, making you like her. You don't know anything about Mother. I stand up, rage coiling inside of me like a snake.
Lucette, I know a lot about her. More than you will ever know.
No. The truth is hard, Princess, but eventually we all have to face it.
Hildur was my beloved friend. Facing her was the hardest thing I've ever done. We only want to help you.
Well, you're not very good at it. I turn on my heels and storm out of the room. I feel that there was more to what Delora and Parfait wanted to say to me, but I cannot stand to hear it right now. And we will go to the forest clearing in the next episode. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye!